Today on Holiday Specials, we're making corned beef for St. Patrick's Day. I'll be making it on an easy bake oven, but this recipe works on a charcoal grill or indoor oven too. But whatever you decide to use, you're probably watching this because you want to start smashing some Reubens. So let's get to it. The first decision to make with corned beef is, are you gonna buy it pre-corned from the store or brine it yourself? This time of year, you can find the pre-corned ones at pretty much any grocery store, so that's what I'm doing. But if you do want to brine it yourself, here's everything you need to know. And if that is you, pause the video, go spend 7 days doing that, and then you'll be ready for the next step. As for the rest of us, we can start seasoning the meat. For the seasoning, or rub, or whatever you want to call it, we're only using 2 ingredients, brown sugar and black pepper. And since the beef is already corned, there's no need for salt. And a good ratio to start with here is 3 parts brown sugar to 1 part black pepper. I like a little kick, so I do mine a little more heavy on the pepper. But whatever you do, keep in mind that you aren't just seasoning for the meat, this is also what's going to determine what flavor the broth and vegetables take on during the braising part of the cook. But now we're gonna get our hands dirty, so if you aren't subscribed yet, now's a great time to make it happen. And if you do, thanks, I appreciate it. Now as we do get ready to season the beef, make sure to rinse off the brine and pat it dry with a paper towel before applying a thin layer of mustard as a binder. People always ask if it'll make it taste like mustard, and the answer is no, it won't. It's just there to help the rub stick to the meat. So once we do that, add the rub to all sides of the brisket. Feel free to be generous with it and press it in like this. Also, every time I make this, people in my comments say, oh, so you made pastrami. And I've had both pastrami and corned beef like a million times, but honestly, I don't actually know what the difference is between the two. So if any of you know the difference, please tell me because I'd love to know the answer. Okay, when you're done with this part, the meat should look like this and your hands should feel like this. And now it's time to put it on the grill. Again, I'm using a pellet grill and I have mine set to 260 Fahrenheit because even though it's an Irish holiday, I'm still not allowed to use metric measurement systems yet. But we're gonna let this cook low and slow until hitting 165 internal. Mine took around 4 to 5 hours to get to that point, but if you're using a smaller piece of meat, it'll probably go quicker. And one last thing for this part, after the first 2 hours, you can spritz it with something like apple cider vinegar every 30 to 45 minutes. It's just a classic barbecue trick that helps regulate consistent temperature and keep the bark from drying out. Cool. Other than that, let it cook. Alright, we've hit 165 internal. Now I'm gonna transfer it to a large foil tray so we can braise it. I'm throwing in the famous Irish trio of vegetables, which is cabbage, carrots, and potatoes. If you have the option, I suggest using red skins or Yukon Gold, but I'm using russet this time because that's what I have. For the liquid part, pour in a nice Irish stout and then some beef broth. If you're wondering about the amount, just make sure the liquid level covers halfway up the meat. Then, once you do that, cover it in foil to lock in the moisture, and if you have one, continue using a probe thermometer, then bring it back to the heat to braise. And for this step, you can raise the temperature to 300 to make it go a little faster, but I just let mine roll at 260. Either way, we're gonna let it braise until hitting 210 internal. Then, once it does hit 210, take it off and let it rest. And unless you really want to learn the hard way, don't skip this step. Keep that thermometer in and let it rest till it hits around 165. Again, the bigger the brisket, the longer it'll take to rest, but seriously, let it rest. Trust me. And when you do cut it, you can slice it up like a brisket against the grain, but personally, for whatever reason, when it comes to corned beef, I actually like pulling pieces off like this. I don't know if this is common or not, but I've just always done it, and I love it like that. But that's pretty much it for this recipe. It's pretty simple and straightforward, just takes a little bit of time, but I love how all the vegetables get cooked and flavored without me even thinking about it. Anyway, now that this is done, I'm gonna start smashing some Reubens. I hope you do too. I'll see you next time. Happy holiday. Peace.